An elderly Bronx resident says she's been waiting for months to be transferred from her NYCHA building, and she can't put up with it any longer.
Shosh Bedrosian covers the Bronx and shows us the conditions the woman says she's been dealing with for years.
Family friend Andy King frequently visits the Gun Hill NYCHA houses to check in on 84-year-old Barbara Gibson, also known as Mrs. G.
So this is where you're sleeping now?
This is where I tried to sleep.
But inside Mrs. G's home,
as I sat down, Lord and behold, I looked up and I had to bring my head back because the drippings of the feces was dropping on my head.
For years, she's been dealing with a slew of issues, from rats to constant train noise and safety problems on her floor, she says, including frequent drug users.
It's like a department store up here. The continuous noise that goes on, I'm afraid to even open up my door. I don't know who I'm going to be looking at.
At one point, she was sleeping in her bath to keep out the noise.
84-year-old woman trying to pull a mattress in just so she could find some sense of peace and comfort.
I shouldn't have to live like this. And I pay my rent every month, and I just want my transfer.
Paperwork shows she was approved for a NYCHA transfer in December 2023, but 7 months later, she's still in the same position. Mrs. G has lived in this NYCHA community since 1966. She says she hopes the system recognizes all the contributions she's made as a resident, but also as a teacher.
Manners, etiquette.
The longtime resident spent years educating the community and was even recognized for her work at NYCHA's Baychester Community Center for 17 years.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank you.
NYCHA sent us a statement acknowledging Mrs. G was, quote, approved for a transfer, and says they, quote, will contact the resident once an appropriate unit becomes available and her position on the wait list has been reached.
Would you want your mother, your grandmother to live in these conditions? I'm just going to ask NYCHA to move expeditiously on this one. Don't drag your feet. Just do what you have to do. Make the decision, look at your inventory, and move her immediately.
In Williamsbridge, the Bronx, Shosh Bedrosian, CBS News, New York.
Shosh is our reporter covering the Bronx. If you have any story ideas, you can reach out to her at bronxtip@cbs.com.